Today we're in Pomeroy, Ohio, the birthplace of James Edwin Campbell. He was born here in Pomeroy on September 28, 1867, to James Edward Campbell and his wife Aletha Esther Sparks. He was raised in the Kerrs Run part of Pomeroy's First Ward. His childhood playmate, West Virginia State Auditor J.S. Darst, cited Campbell as a person who rose to prominence in spite of his early unfavorable environment and described the bloody First Ward of Pomeroy as tough. Campbell completed his primary education from 1st to 8th grade at Kerrs Run Collard School and his secondary education at Pomeroy Academy, where he graduated in 1884. For the next 2 years, he was a teacher in Buck Ridge, Ohio. Campbell viewed West Virginia as a place for the advancement of African Americans due to the economic opportunities offered by the coal and oil industries. So Christopher Payne hired him to serve as the editor of the Pioneer newspaper. Then in 1887, Payne hired Campbell to replace himself as editor of the West Virginia Enterprise. For a time, the West Virginia Enterprise was the only black newspaper in West Virginia. Campbell was also known as a gifted orator and gave lectures. In 1891, Campbell was selected as the principal of the Point Pleasant Colored School in Point Pleasant, West Virginia. Under his leadership, the school relocated to a 4-room, 2-story brick building and was renamed Langston Academy in honor of the African-American educator John Mercer Langston. In April of 1892, he was selected as the first principal of the West Virginia Colored Institute. This school would later become West Virginia State University and Institute, West Virginia. Campbell opened the school on April 26, 1892 with 20 students. The original curriculum was the equivalent of a high school education, and it included agriculture, horticulture, mechanical arts, domestic science, vocational training, and teacher preparation. Campbell was also professor of mathematics at the Institute. Also on the faculty was Campbell's wife, Mary Lewis Champ, whom he had married in 1891 in Harrison County, Ohio. She was a graduate of Oberlin College in 1890 and taught in Wheeling for a year before marrying Campbell. In 1887, Campbell published his first book, Driftings and Gleanings, a volume of poetry and essays in standard English. And in 1895, he moved to Chicago and became a staff writer for the Chicago Times-Herald. Campbell continued to publish his own poems and articles, and in a group publication of the 4 O'Clock magazine. In 1895, he published his second book, Echoes from the Cabin and Elsewhere, a collection of poetry in the Southern African American vernacular dialect. According to the Poetry Foundation, this book is often praised as one of the finest collections of dialect poems of the 19th century, managing to mix realism and folk wisdom with authentic, rhythmic dialect. Campbell was among the first African American poets to write in the African American vernacular dialect. While visiting his family in Pomeroy for Christmas in 1895, he became sick with symptoms of a cold. Then he got a fever. He died on January 26, 1896 at his family's home of typhoid pneumonia. He is buried here in Beech Grove Cemetery above Pomeroy.